So we're literally starting over. Okay.
Yeah. So we just got out of Birds of Prey. Caleb, Margot Robbie's first solo DC movie.
What I'm doing with my hands.
Sort of. I don't know what you're doing with your hands either. But,
either.
Caleb, what'd you think?
A semi-sequel to, I guess, Suicide Squad. It references the movie.
It does. It actually shows Suicide Squad.
Shows like a clip of it.
Yeah.
So if you,
so Jared Leto's still our Joker, folks, in the DC universe.
So if you got Suicide Squad, and you got
it's a damn shame.
So you got Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey looks like The Godfather next to Suicide Squad.
Does.
Because I think this is a damn good movie.
It's a good movie. I enjoyed that.
But honestly, this movie is complete madness from like beginning to end. Like I'd say you know what, this is sort of like The Gentleman that we watched last week, where the first 30 minutes is all like setting up our characters and like the storyline, then the story gets going.
The last hour is just a full-blown action film, and it was and damn was it entertaining.
What?
You know,
man, the action in this movie is killer. Like it really is.
You know, it feels very John Wick-esque.
I was thinking
action.
that. You know what? Through my mind,
just a little more gymnastic to it.
In my mind, it came into my mind somewhere in the movie. Like this is like a mix of John Wick and Deadpool.
Yeah,
because you got while you don't necessarily, but you kind of do have Harley Quinn breaking the fourth wall a little bit. She is narrating the movie and giving a voiceover throughout the whole movie. And you know, Margot Robbie is nominated for an Oscar this Sunday for the movie Bombshell. And I know there's like something against comic book movies at the Oscars. Her performance in this is better than her performance in Bombshell because she is awesome in this movie.
Yeah, she's really good in this movie.
And I think the writing in this movie's hilarious.
Yeah.
And there's one character, even though I liked all the characters, all the main characters, one character every time they showed up, and that's Ewan McGregor.
Yes.
Every time until maybe the end, I think maybe they kind of fumbled his character towards the end. But
when he actually is Black Mask.
Yeah, it's not
as great.
Whenever it's just him,
because it's all
the
facial.
best thing about his character is is without the mask and him talking.
Yes,
the things coming out of his mouth. I'm like, I want to hear what he has to say next, because he was hilarious, and he hammed that role up, and he was proven to be a great actor yet again.
Ewan McGregor doesn't get the credit he deserves as an actor.
No.
He is very underrated and underappreciated when it comes, especially to just movies where he can just let go and be as funny as he can be. He doesn't get the credit he deserves as an actor. That's sad.
And they gave him all the free range in this movie to do whatever he wanted. Did they? And I can't remember the actor's name, but his like sidekick character.
Yes.
That's the first time I've ever seen him play a role like that. He's usually like a good guy. And not this movie. He's a terrible guy. And while the movie is funny, it still manages to show the more threatening side of Black Mass, or whatever his actual name is. That one scene in the club is really uncomfortable.
It's tense, yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's an uncomfortable scene. I don't want to ruin it, but it has to do with him like forcing someone to do something on a table, and it's uncomfortable. Like I'm like, this is not a. I didn't know if they were going to play it for laughs, and they did not.
No,
like, that was a scary scene. Yeah.
Honestly, though, we were talking about how humorous the movie is. It's kind of heartwarming too, and it's got
that Deadpool. Like I said, it's got that Deadpool heartwarming element to it.
It's got comic book movies. That's hard to pull off with what you have, but especially with a character like Harley Quinn.
Yeah, just a complete like loose cannon.
Yeah. So,
you know, I'm really liking, even though they really had a hard time at the beginning, I'm really liking what the DCEU is doing now that they're not so focused on
trying to replicate Marvel.
Well, trying to work everything together, because they have put out 3 movies in a row now that I just think are all tonally different. Even though Shazam is a comedy, this movie's nothing like Shazam. And Aquaman was more of like a visual treat, but it was its own thing. All 3 movies are its own complete thing. And I think if they keep going down that route, I think they'll be on the right path. Because they got to separate themselves from what Marvel's doing. It's a different thing. And I really appreciate it. Like, I think the R rating really helped.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, it's the first DCEU R-rated movie. And it really elevated, because there's some really violent stuff in the movie, and the language is harsh, and it helped the comedy, I think.
What the thing of it is like a lot of the complaints that a lot of people had about the DC universe when it first started was it was being dark for the sake of being dark, and it didn't work. It doesn't land. The way they're starting to do it now, it's not so much that it's dark and not so much that it's gritty. It's just a little more edge to everything. Like some of the dialogue has some edge to it. Some of the overall violent aspects is violent, but it doesn't have somebody having their head blown off in the middle of a shot for no reason. You know, which kind of felt like what they were trying to do at the beginning with you know, just everything dark and shadowy and all that stuff. This movie's actually kind of, it's bright, it's vibrant, and I mean, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's probably my second favorite DC movie behind Shazam.
It's it's close between this, Shazam, and Wonder Woman. I think they're all really, really, really good movies, and I liked Aquaman. But yeah, I'm liking what they're doing. To me, there's only one thing in the movie that I thought was really, really stupid, and I hated it actually. Like I was like, what? Like that didn't, to me. There's sort of like a superpower that's introduced in the third act. Like that was out of nowhere.
I'm with you.
For a movie, I'm not going to call the movie grounded because it's completely crazy. But there's not any fantastical elements throughout the movie. It's just craziness. And then there's like a fantastical element introduced there in the third act for them to get out of something. I'm like, nah, that was bullcrap. But they recovered quick. Like the next scene was great. Like the next scene is like there's like a really amazing car chase scene with like rollerblades and stuff.
I'm with you. I'm really with you on that. Like, that was something that I was like,
that sucked.
They set it up. And I've got this itch in my throat, dude. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Just cut this part because I'm gonna cough real hard. But they set up that part very vaguely. Earlier in the film.
Which that made sense, the thing at the beginning, but the thing that happens in the third act, like, no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they set it up so vague, and then it's like, when it pays off, are you supposed to believe it?
No, I don't believe it at all.
You don't.
It sucked.
And that's the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, it's the only thing that I rolled my eyes at. Which, compared to, like, Suicide Squad, there was so many stupid stuff in that movie.
What's sad is that we've watched so many movies that I knew as soon as that happened, I was like, Caleb's gonna hate this.
Oh, yeah.
Caleb's gonna hate this part of this movie.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. It didn't fit in.
It didn't fit in. But having said that, it didn't ruin the movie.
No, it was still good.
It didn't ruin the movie to the point. Right, it didn't ruin the movie so much as you're just like, okay, the rest of this is just not worth the war.
Yeah, it recovered quick.
Yeah, it did.
And it uses its CG sparsely. Like there's a really cool explosion element at the beginning of the movie that sort of ties in with Joker and sort of like talks about like the toxic element between their relationship. And I thought that was really visually cool. I think the movie's visually cool. Like, it's really well directed. And I think that's one thing that I'll set the DC movies apart from the MCU movies. While the MCU movies are really consistent and fun, I think visually, like cinematography wise, they're flat. Especially like those Spider-Man movies. But then you look at a movie like this, it has that John Wick element to it, where it's colorful and the choreography between the fight scenes are really well done.
Huntress.
Awesome.
Huntress, though.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was like, put her in a John Wick movie,
Rosie Perez, that's the first thing I've seen her in a long time. Yeah, everybody was good. Like, the kid was sometimes a little stale, but I mean, she did fine. But another thing with the CG, before I give my review, there's only one real big CG thing in the movie, and that's the hyena. And I think the hyena looks great. Like,
the hyena looks pretty cool.
Like, it looked like kind of like a hyena. We know it wasn't. There's no way it was because you couldn't have a real hyena, but it looked good. So maybe they used like a lot of their budget on the hyena. It looked good. Yet again, same thing as last week. I give this movie a B+.
I give this movie a B+ as well.
It's good. Probably the best movie I've seen this year. Out of the two movies.
Ooh!
If it wasn't for the Gentleman ending so weak, I'd say that it was better just because it was funnier than this movie. This movie kind of had me the whole time. I was like, this is
entertaining from start to finish.
It was very, like I said, the madness element. It was really good, and a pretty good, doesn't beat you over the head, but a pretty cool feminist message in the movie. I think there's a little bit of it. I think because it just shows a lot of like just like badass women in the movie and them like beating the hell out of guys, and it was
cool.
It was cool.
Cool.
They're on the right path. Next week, Sonic. Sonic is next week.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Doesn't matter if it has a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Zero. We're gonna watch it.
We owe it to the creators and the artists, and we like the video games.
But
yeah, let us know what you thought of Birds of Prey in the comment section below. I think this movie's gonna do well.
I think
it's gonna do well. I think
it may not do well in our area.
I think it's gonna be well received by audiences, and I think it's gonna make a decent chunk of money. I don't know the budget, but I think it's gonna make a decent chunk of money because I think it was a really entertaining movie. Let us know what you thought of the movie in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, and thank you for watching.